The galaxy was silent that night, out on the edge of known space. Where no trade ships flew and no empires watched, something strange appeared. A thin glowing line, stretching from empty black to the unknown. No one knew how it got there. It wasn't natural. It wasn't a comet or light from a star. It was perfect, straight as a blade, bright as white fire, and completely still. Commander Varel stood at the glass of the Zenith patrol station, high above his empire's border planet, and stared at it. "That line wasn't there yesterday," he said quietly. His second officer, Rallin, checked the readings. "Again. Confirmed, sir. It appeared 9 hours ago. No energy source, no movement. No signal? None." Varel turned, frowning. "Send a scout." The scout ship Aerolite left within the hour. It was fast, small, and full of sensors. Its pilot, Captain Elon Drex, was calm and brave. He had flown through plasma storms. He had dodged pirate attacks. He wasn't scared. Until now. As Aerolite approached the strange glowing line, Drex spoke over the comms. "I'm seeing something odd. The line, it's not made of light. It's single quotes S. structure. It's solid." "What do you mean solid?" the control officer asked. "It's like it's made from metal and fire, but it's not moving. And I think the transmission cut off." Alarms flashed at the station. They waited. Nothing. Aerolite was gone. Hours passed. No signals, no debris, no explosions, just silence. Varel called the Imperial Council. "We may have a threat at the border. I request a full fleet to investigate." High Chancellor Orvak appeared on screen. "It's probably just a wormhole, or one of those ancient tricks the Varn used. Don't be dramatic." "Sir," Varel said, choosing his words carefully, "we sent a ship. It vanished, without warning." Orvak rolled his eyes. "Send more. Send 10. Wipe it clean. We don't tolerate mysteries." The order was signed within minutes. The fleet launched within hours. They called it Operation Sweep. 10 warships, 3 carriers, hundreds of fighters, thousands of soldiers. Enough firepower to erase a moon. They moved toward the glowing line. With pride, they never came back. No one saw an explosion. No wreckage floated back, just more silence. Then, a signal arrived. But not from the fleet. It came from Earth. Earth had stayed quiet for decades. After the last galactic war, they pulled back. No alliances. No enemies, just silence. Many called them cowards. Many forgot about them, but humans never stopped watching. They had placed something out there, a warning. A trap, a line in the stars. And now it had been crossed. On Earth, deep under the ground, a man stood inside Command Vault 9. His name was Admiral Keen. His eyes were hard. His voice calm. "They crossed it," he said. Beside him, a woman in a black suit nodded. "We received full confirmation. Their fleet approached, engaged. They are gone." "Did we respond?" "No," he paused. "Now we do. One ship left Earth. Small, dark, silent. It didn't carry bombs. It didn't carry armies. It carried a message. The ship arrived at the Zenthari frontier planet quietly. It didn't land. It floated above their capital city and activated a hologram. A human face appeared in the sky. "This is a warning," the voice said. "Your empire crossed into protected space. That line you saw was drawn for a reason. We waited. We gave you time. Now, understand this. Do not cross Earth again." The signal ended. The ship vanished. Seconds later, every satellite on that planet shut down. Power plants failed. Gravity systems broke. No deaths, but total blackout. A whisper of power. A taste of fear. In the Imperial Court, Chancellor Orvak screamed. "How dare they?" He slammed his fist against the table. "One planet challenges the Empire." A general tried to calm him. Sir, they disabled an entire world without firing a shot. They think that scares me? Orvak shouted. Send more ships. 10 times more. The general hesitated. With respect, sir. We already sent our best, and they're gone. In deep space, far from the eyes of any empire, another ship blinked into view. Sleek, black, unseen dot. It carried no name. No flags. Only one goal. To watch. To wait. Because Earth was not done yet. They never started a fight. But when a line was crossed, they finished it. The galaxy didn't understand. They thought humans were weak. They thought Earth had gone silent forever. But the line was still The Imperial War Room was loud. Screens blinked. Officers shouted. Panic spread like fire. Commander Virel stood in the middle, quiet and tense. His mind was racing. 2 fleets had gone to the strange glowing line in space. Both vanished. No distress. Signal, no debris. Just silence. Behind him, a tall figure stepped in. High Chancellor Orvak. He didn't look worried. He looked angry. Tell me this is a joke, Orvak said sharply. 2 fleets? Gone? To some light trick? Virel faced him. It's not a trick, sir. It's something real, something powerful, Orvak scoffed. Then destroy it. Send more ships. Blast it too. Dust. We already tried, Virel said. That line. It's a weapon. It's human. Orvak froze for a second. Then he laughed. Humans? They left the galaxy's stage a century ago. They don't have fleets. They don't even have allies. They have something, Virel said. And whatever it is, it erased our best without warning. Orvak's face hardened. I want a response. A big one. A message that we are not afraid. 12 new warships were selected. Bigger, heavily armed. Faster than anything before. They were led by General Tavros, known across the galaxy as the Crusher. He had destroyed pirate nations, rebel colonies, and even a rogue AI fleet. He laughed at the thought of fighting humans. They'll run. Tavros told his crew, just like they always do. We show up, they bow. His officers smiled. Confidence was high, but far away, deep in Earth's command center, they were already watching. The moment the Empire's ships began moving, Earth knew. A signal flashed through the silent dark. Invisible, instant. In Earth's underground war. Chamber, Admiral Keen stood before a wall of lights. They're doing it again, his assistant said. Keen didn't blink. Then we give them one last chance. He turned to the communication desk. Prepare the message. This time, make it loud. In the Imperial fleet, halfway to the glowing line, a transmission suddenly played inside every ship. It was a human voice. This is Earth, the voice said. Calm, firm. You are approaching a restricted boundary. Your last 2 fleets were destroyed. No prisoners, no remains. Do not cross again. The message ended. Silence. General, Tavros chuckled. They're bluffing. They weren't. The moment the fleet crossed the line, the stars blinked. One by one, the Empire's ships began to vanish. No explosions. No alarms. They simply stopped existing. On the bridge of the Dominator, Tavros shouted, "What's happening?" His engineer screamed, "Ship number 6 is gone." "Where?" "No trace, sir. Not even dust." Suddenly, the main screen flashed. A human figure appeared, faceless, featureless, made of white light. "This was your decision," the voice said. Then the screen went dark. The Dominator vanished next. Back at the Empire's capital, Orvak watched the live feed cut off. His face was pale now. His hands shook. "Not again," he whispered. "Not again." He stood slowly. "Bring me a list of our strongest weapons." Virel looked at him. "Sir, it won't help." "I said bring it." "There's nothing to shoot at, sir. No ships, no bases, no targets, just a line and silence." For the next 3 days, the Empire stayed quiet. No ships moved. No messages sent. The glowing line in the stars still hummed there calm and bright. Finally, Orvik called a private council. 12 leaders from 12 systems sat at the table, all powerful, all confused, all afraid. This cannot continue, Orvik said. We must strike back, harder, bigger, one counselor asked. How? We don't even know where Earth is. Another said, maybe we leave it. Let them have their little corner. Orvik slammed the table. We are the Zenthari Empire. We do not bow to fear. At that moment, the lights flickered. Then every screen in the room turned on. A human face appeared, not angry, not smiling, just watching. You were warned, the voice said. This is your last chance. The screens turned off. Everyone was silent. Back. In the war room, Varel sat alone, staring at the line through the main viewer. He whispered to himself, why didn't we listen? A junior officer approached. Sir, what do we do now? Varel didn't answer for a long time. Then he said, we stop, we breathe, and maybe we survive. Deep in space, a single human drone hovered near the edge of the Empire's territory. It recorded everything, watched everything. It didn't need weapons. It was the weapon, and it waited, because humans never started wars. Deep beneath Earth's surface, in a secret chamber filled with glowing screens and quiet hums, Admiral Keen stood silently. His eyes were tired, but sharp. Around him, officers and technicians moved quickly, but with calm focus. Admiral, a young officer said, the Empire's fleets have vanished. Their leaders are panicking. They do not understand what hit them. Keen nodded slowly. They never understood Earth's strength. They only saw silence. The officer frowned. But why wait? Why did Earth not act sooner? Keen's voice was low but steady. Because war is not the first choice for humans. We watch. We listen, we prepare, and we wait. In another part of the command center, a large hologram floated in the air. It showed the glowing line in space, the line that no empire dared cross. A scientist spoke to the admiral. The line was never just a trap. It is a signal, a warning. But more than that, it is a message. Keen looked at the line on the screen. What message? The scientist hesitated. That Earth is awake, that we have not forgotten. Outside the chamber, the world was calm. But beneath the surface, a hidden fleet was preparing. Keen turned to his second in command. Get me the new stealth ships, ready for immediate launch. Sir, the council approved only a few, she said. Then, use them. Every ship counts now. Days passed. The galaxy held its breath. Then, deep in space near the Empire's border, a small black ship appeared. Captain Aaron, its pilot, stared out at the stars. His ship was silent and invisible to most sensors. It was fast, smart, and deadly. His orders were clear. Watch the Empire. Wait for their next move. But Aaron felt something else. Sir, his AI said softly, I detect movement. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Show me. On the screen, a small fleet of human ships blinked into view. Not one, not two, but 10, Aaron whispered. They're coming. Back on Earth, Keen watched the feed. They have responded, he said. Not with words, but with force. His assistant asked, Are we ready? Keen smiled slightly. We have been ready for a long time. In the Empire's capital, panic grew. Chancellor Orvik paced, shouting orders. We must strike first. He yelled, Destroy Earth's ships before they reach us. A general replied, Sir, their ships are hidden. We cannot see them until they strike. Orvik slammed his fist down. Then find a way. On the edge of the Empire, the human fleet moved fast. Their stealth shields flickered, hiding them like ghosts. Suddenly, the silence broke. Lasers fired. Shields exploded. Empire ships were destroyed before their crews knew what hit them. In the middle of the battle, Aaron's ship moved closer to a carrier. "Prepare to launch fighters," he said. "But Captain," I replied, "the carrier's defenses are active." "Trust me," Aaron said, with precision. He fired a single pulse. The carrier's defenses shut down instantly. Fighters launched from Aaron's ship, swarming the carrier. The battle was over in minutes. On Earth, the command center cheered quietly. Keen turned to his officers. "We do not seek conquest. We seek peace." "But why fight?" one officer asked. Keen looked at the glowing line on the screen. "Because some lines must never be crossed." As the human fleet vanished into the darkness, a message played across the galaxy. "This is Earth," the voice said. "Calm, strong. We warned you, we do not want war. But we will not be ignored." The stars seemed to listen. For the first time in a long time, the galaxy knew Earth was. The sky above the Empire's frontier world was clear and bright. Farmers worked. Children played. Ships moved slowly between cities. Life was calm. No one knew death was coming. Far beyond the quiet world, a single black ship floated in the dark. Inside, Captain Lyra Cross stood still, watching the glowing planet on her screen. She was calm. She was focused. She was human. "Target confirmed," her AI said. "Defense grid status?" Lyra asked. "Fully active," the AI replied. "But their systems are 10 years behind ours. We'll break through." Lyra didn't smile. "This is not about showing off. It's a message." She opened the communication line to Earth. "Admiral Keen, this is Lyra. I'm in position." His voice came back clear. "You know your mission. One strike. One warning. No deaths." "I understand," she replied. Keen paused. "And Lyra?" "Yes, sir?" "Make sure they remember it." The Empire still believed it could win. In the capital, Chancellor Orvok stood in a war room, staring at star maps. "How close are the humans now?" he asked. General Tavros answered. "We lost contact with another outpost. No distress signal. No damage reports. Just ... silence." Orvok frowned. "They're ghosts. They're hunters," Tavros said quietly. Suddenly, alarms blared on the frontier world. In a tall tower, the planetary governor looked up. "What's happening?" he asked his tech team. One officer shouted, "Unknown ship detected. Just entered high orbit. Raise shields." The governor screamed, but it was already too late. In the sky, Lyra's ship began to glow with silent energy. It didn't fire lasers. It didn't drop bombs. It simply spoke. Across every screen, device, and broadcast tower, one voice echoed. "You crossed the line. You were warned. This is the first and final strike." Then, without warning, every power station shut down. The defense grid collapsed. The skies darkened. Even the artificial gravity flickered. Ships fell. Lights blinked. Entire cities paused. No one died. But the world stopped. In orbit. Lyra watched it. "All mission complete," her AI said. She nodded. "Let's go." Her ship turned and vanished into deep space. Back on Earth, Admiral Keen received the report. "Well done," he said. His assistant asked, "What now?" "Now they'll respond," Keen said. "And we'll see what kind of empire they truly are." In the Empire's capital, chaos exploded. Screens played footage of the darkened frontier world. Crowds gathered, shouting in fear and anger. In the war room, Orvok screamed. This was not war. It was terrorism. "No," General Tavros said. "It was a message." Orvok turned to him, furious. "Then let's answer it, with fire." But behind closed doors, many in the Empire whispered a different truth. This wasn't just power. It was precision. Control. A single human ship had disabled a planet and vanished. What could an entire fleet do? What if Earth had more? No one knew. That fear spread fast. On a quiet hill far from Earth cities, Lyra stood under the stars. She took off her helmet and looked up at the night sky. "You saw us as weak," she whispered, "but you never asked what silence hides." A small device beeped in her pocket. A new message. She read it. "Prepare for next mission. Multiple targets." She sighed. "Not in anger. Not in joy. But in duty." Then she whispered to the stars, "Let them come. We'll draw the next line too." And with that, the throne room of the Xanthari Empire was tall and cold, made of dark crystal and sharp silver. At the center sat Emperor Kale, ruler of 500 worlds. He wore golden armor, not for war, but to show power. He never smiled. A dozen advisors stood before him. All of them were nervous. One of them, High General Tavros, stepped forward. "Your Majesty," he said, "another frontier system has gone dark. No ships, no power, no response. It happened after one human vessel appeared in orbit." The Emperor raised an eyebrow, and Tavros hesitated. It was the same as before. No attacks, no deaths, just total shutdown. They left after a few minutes. Emperor Kale stood slowly. "So we are being insulted, Your Majesty. They mock us," Kale shouted. His voice echoed through the great hall. "They strike, then run, like cowards. Like thieves in the night." Another advisor, an older woman named Vera, spoke softly. "They do not run, they warn, and they always leave us alive." "That is not cowardice, Majesty. That is confidence." Kale turned toward her, his eyes cold. "Enough. I have made my decision. Send the full Crimson Fleet to Earth. We will burn their home. We will show them what happens when the Xanthari Empire is tested." Tavros stepped forward, uneasy. "With respect, Majesty, we still do not know the true size of their fleet or their tech. Our best warships were lost without even seeing their enemy." "I do not care," Kale snapped. "I want them crushed. I want Earth gone from the stars." Deep beneath Earth's surface, in the command bunker, Admiral Keen watched the data feed. His face remained calm, but the tension in the room grew. "They're coming," his officer whispered. "The Crimson Fleet, 40 ships, all headed straight for us." Keen nodded. "Finally, sir?" The officer asked. "They've made the mistake we hoped for." The Crimson Fleet was the most feared force in the galaxy. Its ships were blood red, thick with armor, and powered by dark fusion. Each one carried hundreds of soldiers and heavy weapons. It had never been defeated. Had never faced Earth. As the fleet crossed into human-protected space, Earth remained quiet. No weapons fired. No messages sent. The Xanthari commanders grew bolder. "They're afraid." One of them laughed, hiding behind silence. But as they passed the glowing line in the stars, their systems began to slow. Shields blinked. Engines stuttered. "What's happening?" one captain asked. Then their screens turned black. A white symbol appeared, a circle, with a line through it. And a voice. "You have crossed into protected territory. You were warned. You were given chances. This is your final lesson." Then the signal ended, and Earth began, without warning. Human ships appeared. Not dozens. Hundreds. Not glowing with power. Quiet. Cold. Deadly. Invisible until they were close enough to strike. One by one, Xanthari ships exploded. Others shut down. Mid-flight. Some vanished completely, pulled by strange energy into nothing. Inside the command ship of the Crimson Fleet, Admiral Racker shouted orders. "Return fire! Shields failing! We can't target them. They're too fast." In under 5 minutes, 30 ships were destroyed. The rest began to retreat. Then something new arrived. One giant ship. Unlike anything the Empire had seen. It was not shaped for battle. It looked like a monument. A floating wall of black metal. And it spoke. "I am the Ark, a human supercarrier. You were given time. You ignored it. You crossed the line. Now you are beneath it. A blast of pure white light stretched across space. The remaining Xanthari ships didn't explode. They shut off completely. Dead. Drifting. Captured. Back in the throne room. Emperor Kale stared at the report. He couldn't speak. No one in the room did. Finally, Vera stepped forward. This was your mistake, Majesty. Kale gritted his teeth. They will pay for this. We will rebuild. Vera shook her head. No. Majesty, this is not something you rebuild from. This was not war. This was a warning. Kale stood up, furious. Then we will send another fleet. Tavros stepped forward, slowly. No, Majesty, he said quietly. We will send a message. Kale stared at him. What message? Tavros met his eyes. We surrender. On Earth, in the silent chamber, Admiral Keen watched the message appear on his screen. A short video. Kale, kneeling. Alone. No crown. Just words. We surrender. Earth is not to be tested again. Keen turned off the screen. His assistant looked at him. Was this the plan all along? No, Keen said. But it worked? He nodded once. It was never about winning, he said. It was about being heard. Outside, the stars kept burning. The line still glowed. The galaxy had changed overnight. After Earth's strike on the Crimson Fleet, silence spread across the stars. The Xanthari Empire, once loud, feared, and proud, was now quiet. Their strongest ships were gone. Their borders unguarded. Their emperor had bowed. But the true fear didn't come from what people saw. It came from what they didn't. In a council chamber on the neutral world of Kiris, leaders from over 100 species had gathered. Some were old races, powerful and ancient. Others were young but rising fast. All were afraid. Chancellor Vorth, a tall creature with golden skin, stood at the center. Earth must be stopped, he said, voice shaking. Not because they attacked, but because they did it without being seen. A short-scaled alien raised his hand. We don't even know how many ships they have. Another added, or where their bases are, or how they shut down planets. Without killing anyone. They weren't discussing humans like enemies. They were discussing them like ghosts. Far from the council, above a mining planet deep in the Indari sector, a massive corporate facility floated in orbit. It was protected by mercenary fleets and armed satellites. Inside the command deck, Director Helos laughed at the news reports. So Earth took down the Empire? Good for them. What do I care? This is business. They don't bother us. An officer whispered, Sir, we just detected a strange signal. What kind of signal? It's silent. Like it's there, but not really. It's pinging us once every minute. Helos frowned. Trace it. But they never could. And 12 hours. Later, the station went dark. No explosions. No warning. Just silence. Back on Earth, Admiral Keen watched quietly as one more red mark blinked out on his map. Mining station neutralized, said his assistant. Any casualties? None, Keen nodded. Good, that's how it should be. A nearby technician looked confused. Sir, why hit a mining station? They weren't part of the Empire. Keen turned his chair slowly. They were supplying weapons to the Xanthari, secretly, even after the surrender. The technician went quiet. Keen continued. They thought we wouldn't notice. But we did. Across the stars, other unseen enemies began to fall. A pirate queen in the Outer Rim woke to find her fleet gone, every ship disabled in the night, every system hacked. A corrupt senator on the Trade Council watched his secret bank accounts vanish. In seconds, a rebel commander hiding in asteroid tunnels looked out into space and saw a human drone watching, blinking red. Before vanishing into the dark, there were no invasions. No. Open war. Just collapse. One by one. Quiet. Fast. Perfect. Back in the Council of Kiris, panic was rising. They're striking everywhere, one ambassador said. But they never speak. Said another. They don't threaten, said a third. They just remove. The room grew silent. Finally, an old gray-skinned leader stood. Perhaps they are not fighting a war at all, he said slowly. Then what are they doing? Someone asked. The elder's eyes were full of fear. They are cleaning up the galaxy. On Earth, in a quiet mountain facility, Keen stood before a small group of diplomats from neutral worlds. One, a reptilian envoy, spoke nervously. You are destroying systems without trials, without warnings. Is this justice? Keen didn't raise his voice. We gave warnings. The line was clear. Many crossed it. And now? The envoy asked. Keen looked at a large star map behind him. Dozens of systems glowed red. Dozens more were marked gray. Now we finish what they started. The room fell silent. Meanwhile, deep in the unknown reaches of space, something new appeared. A ship, larger than any human craft so far. Black as night. Silent Dot had hovered above an uncharted system once used for illegal cloning. Inside, an AI spoke one word: eradicate. The system went dark within minutes. Every illegal lab, every hidden base gone. The galaxy was terrified, but no one knew where to strike back. Earth had no known colonies. Their fleet was never fully seen. Their weapons were still a mystery. They didn't conquer planets, they erased threats, and then vanished. At the end of a long day, Admiral Keen sat alone in his office. He looked out at the stars. A quiet voice came from his communicator. Sir, the galaxy is watching. They want to know what Earth wants now. Keen thought for a moment, then answered. Not power, not control. Then what? Peace, he said. But real peace, one built on truth. One where no one hides weapons behind lies. He looked up. And anyone who does. He didn't finish the sentence. He didn't have to. Because across the galaxy, one truth echoed. Louder than ever. You may not see Earth, but Earth sees you. And for those who had The galaxy held its breath. Everyone had seen what Earth could do: ships vanishing without warning, empires collapsing in silence, and no one truly understanding how it all happened. Now a message had arrived, not a threat, not a demand, just an invitation. On the high planet of Virus Prime, where the Galactic Council sat in its tallest tower, leaders from 50 alien species gathered to discuss one single question. Why is Earth calling us to peace talks? Inside the chamber, voices clashed. Why now? Barked High Commander Lorvak of the Zarn Empire. They destroy fleets, assassinate warlords, and then ask for peace? Is this a trap? We should attend, said Diplomat Elrin, his voice calm. They could have crushed us. But they didn't. This may be our only chance. I don't trust them, hissed a scaled creature from the shadows. They smile with words, but carry thunder behind them. And yet, they all agreed on one thing. No one could afford to ignore Earth. In the orbit of a neutral moon called Haller, the peace meeting was held. One massive human ship, black and silent, waited in the void like a mountain floating in space. No weapons were visible. No shields were raised. But every alien knew they were being watched. Inside the ship, the room was simple. No decorations. No luxury. Just chairs, lights, and one human waiting at the center. Admiral Keen. He stood as the aliens entered. Welcome, he said. They looked around, surprised. No guards? Asked one. No weapons? Asked another. You are safe here, Keen. Said. No one believed him, but no one walked out either. We've seen your message, said High Commander Lorvak. You speak of peace. But peace does not follow what Earth has done. You destroyed without trial, another added. You silenced those who resisted you. Keen listened, then nodded. You're right. That answer surprised them. He continued. We did act in silence. We did strike first. But we struck only those who moved against peace, those who supplied weapons to dying empires, those who broke treaties, those who smiled in meetings while planning attacks behind closed doors. One ambassador leaned forward. And what gives? You the right to decide who lives or dies? Keen stared at him. Nothing. He paused. The room was still, but someone had to. Silence. Then Elrond spoke. If this is peace, why fear? Why destroy before you talk? Keen's eyes were calm, because too many listened only when the fire started. Now that it's burning, you're finally at the table. Another voice from the back whispered, "Is that a threat?" Keen answered softly, "No, it's a fact." Then came the surprise. Keen tapped the table, and a holomap appeared. It showed 10 systems, ones filled with conflict, black markets, or silent wars no one dared speak of. "These," he said, "we are giving back." The room buzzed with whispers. "These systems are yours again. No Earth ships, no Earth control. We only remove the poison. Now you build the peace." "Why?" someone asked. "What's in it for you?" Keen looked tired. "We don't want to rule. We want a future." A senator asked, "Then why still carry weapons?" Keen turned to a massive screen behind him. One word blinked in red: monitoring. "We carry weapons," he said, "because not everyone wants peace." Suddenly, the lights flickered. A loud beep echoed. Keen tapped his earpiece. His face changed. "I need to show you something," he said. He waved a hand and a live feed appeared. It showed a fleet of warships, not human, not Xanthari, gathering near a peaceful planet. "They planned this while we sat here," Keen said. "A secret attack. Hidden signal channels. But we heard them." The council room fell into silence. "Your spies?" one asked. "No," Keen said. "Your satellites, your data. You just weren't looking." The threat was real. Within minutes, Earth ships intercepted the hidden fleet. They didn't fire. They just sent a warning. "Leave now. This is your only chance." The enemy ships turned back. Keen looked at the council. "This is the peace we offer. Strong, yes, but honest. We won't let wars grow in the dark again." Later, as the delegates left the ship, one young alien ambassador stayed behind. She walked up to Keen and asked softly, "Do you ever get tired of always being ready for war?" He looked out at the stars. "Every day." "Then why keep doing it?" He smiled. "Because someone has to hold the fire, so others don't burn." That night, across the galaxy, news spread fast. Earth had offered peace. But it wasn't a weak hand. It was a sword in one hand and an open hand in the other. You could choose, but once chosen, you had to live with the result. And everyone knew when Earth says peace, they mean it. The stars above the newly united galaxy shone with a quiet hope, but beneath that calm, old tensions stirred. The human supercarrier known simply as the Ark hovered over the capital of the Galactic Coalition, its dark hull casting a long shadow. Inside the great chamber, leaders from every corner of the galaxy gathered to witness the dawn of a new era. Admiral Keen stood at the front, his face steady and eyes sharp. "We have come far," he began, his voice echoing in the vast room. "Earth never sought war, but we never ran from it either. Now the galaxy stands at a crossroads." A tall alien counselor interrupted, voice rough with skepticism. "You speak of peace, yet your ships are armed to the teeth. Why should we trust a power that crushes enemies without warning?" Keen nodded. "Your fear is justified. But understand this: power without restraint is meaningless. We wield our strength to protect, not conquer. The new order will be one of balance." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some nodded. Others exchanged doubtful looks. Then, from the back, a voice called out, "And what of those who refuse this balance? The rebels, the warmongers?" Keen's eyes narrowed. "They will face justice. but justice, not vengeance. This new order is built on laws stronger than any fleet or weapon. A code that all must follow or face the consequences. Suddenly, alarms blared. The coalition screens flickered to life, showing a fast-moving fleet approaching from the outer rim. The crowd gasped. King raised a hand. Prepare defenses, but do not fire unless fired upon. The fleet entered, broadcasting their identity. The remnants of a rogue faction that refused the new order. Their leader's voice crackled over the comms. We do not bow to Earth or any coalition. Keen's expression hardened. Then you leave us no choice. But before weapons could fire, the Ark's communication system transmitted a calm, powerful message. This is your final warning. Stand down or be removed. The rogue fleet faltered, then slowly retreated. The chamber exhaled relief, but the moment was clear. This new order would be challenged. Later, as the coalition leaders debated strategies, Keen stood alone at the observation deck, staring at the stars. A voice spoke softly behind him. Is this what you wanted? A galaxy ruled by fear and law? Keen turned to see a young officer, her eyes full of doubt. I wanted a galaxy where peace is stronger than weapons, he said. But peace is never given. It is earned. Sometimes through fire, sometimes through hope. She smiled faintly. Then may your hope be stronger than the stars. Keen nodded, watching as the stars flickered in the darkness. A new galactic order had begun, not with a battle cry, but with a steady hand and a warning. The line in